and welcome back to another episode of The Credit Authority. Once again, I am your host, Rhonda Kulch, and thank you so much for tuning in today. We always want to start by thanking our sponsors. So thank you so much to Equity First. If you are experiencing credit and or financial challenges for yourself and or for your business, feel free to reach out to any one of their trained professionals. They are bilingual nationwide, and they are waiting for your call. They can be reached at 631-714-4822. And today we have in studio our final set of guests, my ladies. We are with my girlfriend Joanne Soldo with Contour Mortgage.
Hello.
And Laura Gijan.
I'm
just going to go Laura. She's my beauty. She's with the Padro team over at Signature Premier Properties. And you're in Bayshore. Yeah. So, every now and again, I love to bring in, our little duos, right? So it's like that power team of mortgage and real estate, and everybody's connected in one way or another. But today, what I really want to talk about is the power of social media and social media marketing for the importance of growing your brand. So Laura, I'm going to start with you because I feel like social media is more your speed, right? So like Joanne and I are aging at this point. We're aging wonderfully, but social media is not my strong point, right? Like I always have to rely on somebody else to do it for me, or for my kids to sit down and tell me, "Ma, you got to get with it. You need to get on TikTok. You got to act silly," and it's a little out of our comfort zone. So you're like that up and coming, in the industry. Tell us a little bit about how social media helps you impact your business.
Greatly. So I think it's so important to have an online presence all around and have it cohesive, have a brand. You go to New York or you go to a different country, Target's Target. When you see it, you know it. So I think it's that important to show like that also online. Because today it's like if you want anything, you're going to go Google it first. If you meet somebody, you're going to Google them, right? A realtor, a lender, to see their reviews. So I think it is important to show up online and build that credibility. And then, when they're on your socials, to make it look aesthetically pleasing, have good information, that valuable information that keeps them there listening, right? It looks good, you hook them in, now you want them to stay there, so you keep them in with some good information, and just be conscious overall, like stay true to what's your brand and what's the purpose of you being online.
And I think what's important too is, there are those times that we're going to post maybe a listing that you have, but it's just as important, I think, for people to learn a little bit about who you are, as a professional, but as a person. Mm-hmm. So how do you determine what you're going to put on your social media?
So anything that's, relatable, right? My day to day, my life as a young woman, that's not work stuff. I think it's easier to answer what not to put, right? How do you want your public or your audience to perceive you? If you're okay with your audience perceiving you as a party realtor and that's your brand, then go for it, own it. But if you don't want your audience to look at that, then I would be a little bit wary. Maybe you don't have to post that night out. You can send that to just your friend group.
And I think that it's so important. I think it was maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I had somebody on the show when we were talking a little bit, again, about social media and the importance of awareness. And there's somebody who I will not mention who is a professional, and her social media presence is all about nightlife and drinking and scathing outfits and, late nights. But this particular person is a professional and during the day. And I feel like if I'm out there looking to retain somebody and I am doing a social media check, it's exactly what you're saying. I'm not okay, or I should say, I would not be proud to say that is the person that is representing me. And I feel like it's doing her a disservice, but yet I don't think it's my place to say that it's okay or not okay. When you are posting your social media, is there ever a time where somebody says to you, hey, you should do a little bit more of this or a little bit less of that?
All the time. Everybody has an opinion of what you should and shouldn't be doing all the time. And I'm very open to the feedback and the constructive criticism and all that stuff. And I take it with a grain of salt. I'll take it, I'll sit on it, they're right or whatever, or especially when they do more of this, like, great. Thank you. Keep the ideas coming.
That's funny. As a mom, I always when I look at my daughter's social media, I'm the one texting, I don't know if I like that picture. Take that down. So I'm church your mom.
Right. But, we've talked about this. So, Joanne, let's go over to you. So you and I are more in that same age group. We'll call it the moms group.
Correct.
Right? The older moms group. I hate to say it like that. We're dating ourselves. But you and I were not raised with social media. We weren't raised on cell phones and Instagram and TikTok. How are you adapting and making sure that you're staying relevant? Because you're in my she group, right?
Right, exactly. Well, it helps to be part of a team. Actually, Denise and I.
So you make Denise do it.
Yeah, I do. Denise is a little more computer savvy than I am, so can't lie. But together we'll figure it out. But my kids help as well. And being part of the Contour team, we have a great marketing department who has helped me tremendously. They'll help with your social media. They'll get your pages. They'll do drip campaigns. So our marketing director has come to our office and helped us with equipment we've purchased to try to do our own recordings. So they've been such a support, and it's really important to have your company behind you. So it's helped a lot.
And a lot of times, even including myself, people will say to me, Rhonda, I see that you're here or you're doing this and you're doing that, but they'll ask me questions like, are you actually getting business from social media? So let me ask you, and then we'll go over and we'll ask Laura, do you think you get business from social media, or do you think the social media just helps validate that you're a professional?
I think a little bit of both. Last night I was at a marketing function or networking function, and the group of women that I was with, like, oh, I love your posts. I see your family. Your husband likes to cook, and oh, that's a great listing that you were at last week. So it does help. It's always that constant reminder of what you do, because maybe people forget that I'm a loan officer and that I can do mortgages. But each week, if I have business posted, personal things posted, things I believe in, whether it helps to be reminded, to remind people what I actually do and what my purpose is, so I think it helps.
And I love it. And how about for you, Laura?
It definitely has helped my business. I've gotten business out of it. And I do listen to a lot of social media marketing podcasts, and and realtors, they do say it's hard to pinpoint if your business is literally coming from social media, unless it's a random follower. But I will say, how you said, it helps with staying relevant and reminding people what you do, because, I'm Laura, the neighbor, the best friend, the cousin. They might not always remember me as Laura, the realtor, so that helps me stay relevant. And as an example, I had a childhood friend, right? She was actually a cousin of my childhood friend, so it was a little bit more distant. We're very young. We stayed connected. I met her when we were very young. We stayed connected through social media. She, was such a huge supporter on social media with my business. Yeah, you go, Laura. And then finally, she's 2 years ago, she's like, I want to start the process of being a homeowner. So, it was through social media that connected us again together. And then just recently, those 2 years I've been getting her ready. Recently, she just closed on a house. So,
right. So you're having that,
yay.
Yeah. It's a great moment. And I think too, what's important about social media, and this is something you just said, people get to see who you are, not necessarily as a brand, right? Or as a professional, but when there's so many people out there, right? There's so many different people that you can choose from professionally to buy a house, to finance a house. But sometimes just that one post where you're with your husband cooking, you can make a connection with somebody. And that's the deviation right there, right? Somebody says, you know what? They're relatable. They look like somebody that is going to be friends with me. Or I love the fact that they love country music. I love country music. Or I love the fact that they're, doing A, B, and C, because you now become relatable. Because a lot of times, at least I know for myself, when you see somebody on social media, but then you meet them and you create the relationship, you almost feel like they're your friend, right? So you don't want to disappoint when the opportunity, presents itself. So once again, we are in studio today. We are with my girlfriend Laura with the Padro team, if you are looking to buy or sell a home. And we are with my girlfriend Joanne with Contour Mortgage, if you are looking to finance a new purchase, an investment property, or just do a cash out refinance. So until next time, stay tuned. We're looking forward to bringing you amazing guests in the future. We will be speaking to you soon.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.